this July 13th, 2020 Hardeeville, City of Hardeeville Recreation Meeting to order. We have 2 of our members on phone, and then 3 others are present. So it looks like there's just 3 of us, and then Jennifer, but there's more. Okay, first thing on order is the Pledge of Allegiance and Invocation. So if you'll stand. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father, thank you for bringing us all here today, whether by phone or whether in person. Be with us as we make decisions about the city and we give input. Hopefully, we will serve the citizens the way that we should. We thank you for all your blessings, and we ask all these things in your most precious name. Amen. Amen. Okay. First thing, number 3, is approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion for approval of the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next is public comments, and it's my understanding there are not any.
That is correct, Madam
So
Chair.
we will move to public presentations, where I understand our interns have a presentation for us today.
And just before they get started, Landon's not here, but a couple of meetings back, I think he challenged us to go ahead and put a marketing plan together just for the rec center and, kind of think outside the box, some different avenues in which we can find other ways to connect with our community and those outside of our community for tourism. So we've put that task onto our interns, and they have created a complete marketing plan. So we're very excited for them to show this to you.
Okay.
So this is our Recreation Center marketing plan.
For our goals and objectives, or goals, as you see, it's going to correlate directly with the Hardeeville marketing plan, where we want to increase public awareness, brand recognition, promote health, wellness, and leisure, and develop and improve partnerships. For our target markets, it also correlates directly with the Hardeeville marketing plan, where we have residents and taxpayers, homeowners, tourists, youth, seniors, teens and adults, business owners, and decision makers. From my personal opinion, I think we should probably target the teens and adults a little bit more, kind of create a trickle-down effect, where once parents and teens get involved, they're going to want to get their kids involved.
All right, and then we have a couple marketing tools. I'm going to kind of go over these briefly and then go into them a little bit more on the next slide. So we have our social media, photography and video, activity guide and brochure, our web presence, which we do currently have Rec Desk, where you can see programs and get signed up for those, as well as our government website, and also has all of our programs and events listed on there. Print materials, we have a flyer and a rack card, which we have created and we'll show you at the end of this presentation. Advertising, mass email, event promotions, and word of mouth.
Can I stop y'all for just a second?
Yes.
Can you go back to the target? Whether we want to acknowledge or not, we have non-residents that we bring in that are primarily Jasper County people that come in just because they don't live in the city limits, but they're close and they don't have anywhere else to go unless they go all the way up to Ridgeland. So I don't know if we want to not, and they are paying customers, whatever. So I don't know if we want to, like, you've got residents and taxpayers, but we do have those non-residents. I mean, every time we come up with a plan, we have to figure out how much are we going to charge our non-residents, because they're a big piece of the pie. So we might want to add them as one of our target markets.
Yeah, we kind of incorporated that into tourists, kind of lump them together as people that don't necessarily.
Because they
live here,
consider
but-
themselves from Hardeeville,
Yeah.
even though they don't live in Hardeeville.
Yeah.
They'll tell you I live in Hardeeville, even though they don't.
There's a
Right.
whole unincorporated
Right.
part of Hardeeville. That's
Right.
where we live. So we get left out a lot from the residents. But we're not tourists either.
Yeah.
100%
Hardeeville.
Hardeeville.
And that if they're gonna go anywhere or participate in anything, they're going to Hardeeville, so I just wanted to
I'd
make
like
that
to add,
point.
From the research and what I've seen, a lot of rec centers include county prices. So, and then they include non-county prices, so people coming from out of county to visit that rec center. That's where I see the difference in prices there.
And we have that too. The council passed that maybe about a year and a half ago with the resident, non-resident rates. So,
I mean,
I think what she's
basically,
saying
if
is
they
just maybe
didn't
add-
have, right, we wanna target them though, because we need their participation in order to have the numbers for sports and whatever, so we don't wanna forget about that population. And also, I don't feel real sorry for the Beaufort County people, they have lots of resources and but if you live unincorporated Hardeeville area, there's not a whole heck of a lot for you unless, again, you go travel all the way
Right.
to Richland. So I just wanted to, I think they should be a separate target audience because we rely on them, and when we don't have their participation, our numbers just aren't what we need them to be.
Yeah, they can be targeted. Once they click into the others, it'll show you that each one of the targeting pieces are things that we can use to target them, whether it's through social media, the newspaper, all of that stuff that, everyone will be able to
Okay,
get that, so.
sorry.
No, you're
You're
right.
good.
Do you have an idea of how many people we're talking about that are outside of the incorporated part of
Oh,
Hardeeville?
gosh.
Not right now. We could probably get with Katie. I know they're doing the census stuff, so I think as soon as the information comes out, Katie handles all of that, so we can get some updated numbers for our demographics.
Okay. What's beep?
My phone. There, I have another phone call coming in.
Okay. All
Sorry.
right, sorry.
Just have to delete it.
Alright, so a little bit farther into how we're gonna use those. Social media, we currently have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. TikTok is a newer site that a lot of people probably don't know about. It's really for kind of like teenagers, college kids, but it's really, I mean, everyone, not everyone, but there is a wide range of ages on it. It's just a quick, like 30-second, 1-minute video. You can add music, you can add voiceover. It just catches your attention like really quick. And so it's kind of
Apologize.
popular to kind of bring in those teens, younger adults to our area. And then we have photography and video. We're considering doing like a virtual tour once the rec center is actually up and running, just to be able to show people like the different amenities and, just get a feel of the area. Some of the pictures we could include are of the different rooms, amenities, things that can be used, as well as like people actually using them so they know what's going on, how to use it, what can be done with it. The activity guide we don't currently have, but if we did, it would reach about 6,000 people, really the Hardeeville area. The rec center would be highlighted, maybe front page, it's a big amenity coming in, it's new, it's exciting. And this would be placed in like welcome centers, chambers, digitally on all of our social medias. And then we have advertising, we have radio, newspapers. We'll highlight those a little bit more again later as well. And then promotional items, we actually do have like giveaway items that have our logo on them that we can give away at different events that we have. Hopefully if we get the Richard Gray facility open, we are going to do like giveaway items at that event and kind of get our name out there, get the word out. Event promotions, booth at events, kind of like I said, getting our stuff out, not only at our events, but if there are some events in the area that we can potentially go, set up a booth, say, hey, we're getting ready to open, the dog park, the rec center, all these different things, try and bring people to us. The ribbon cuttings, hopefully, like I said, the Richard Gray, we'll do one for that, as well as one for the rec center, and we can, get that out, newspapers, radios, social media, flyers, and then as well as contacting like wedding planners, chambers of commerce, businesses for rentals, since we will have like open spaces for events, as well as PTAs. And then word of mouth. A happy customer is a great salesperson. You know, if people come, they really enjoy the facility, they're gonna tell people about it. They're gonna want their kids to be there. They're gonna tell their friends. They're gonna tell their parents. You know, it's just an easy way to get it out there, and it's a good approval rating. You know, if they like it, which goes into improving and evaluation. We're hoping to have like suggestion boxes, and just talk to our customers and be like, hey, what would you like to see? How can we do better? And just always improve on those.
I think it'd be kind of cool to do a virtual tour now, and because you build anticipation, like what it looks like now. People have it on, because a lot of people might not ride by it, so they don't
Right.
really see it from, milestone to milestone. So it might be kind of cool to do some kind of just quick tour around, and that in the basketball courts and all that stuff. It just might be to get people excited, even if it's not open, to
Yeah.
get them excited and thinking about, oh, well, when things do open up, it's going to be really
Yeah.
cool, or when it gets finished, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and we've kind of tried to incorporate that on Facebook right now. If you've been seeing some
I see pictures,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
a
no.
video just does it so much more justice than a picture does, because like I saw the pictures of the basketball courts, but then when I rode by, it just looked it was just so much more inspiring to see it in person. And I think a video kind of would have given you more perspective than
Yeah.
just the long shot
I'll keep that in mind.
picture, but I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah, of course.
To tie in what we just said, publicity techniques, we got to get our name out there, to get our logo out there, to promote. We got newspaper, radios, public relations, advertising, personal selling, and sales promotion. Some examples for each of these, some of these tie into each other as well. You got your public service announcements, potential talk shows, local radio stations. You could potentially have a Parks and Rec column in the newspaper. You got your exit interviews for those who either don't want a membership anymore, or those even potentially leaving on to a better place. What they liked about it, what they didn't like about it, what we can improve on. You got your personal selling videos, virtual tours, stuff like that. Sales promotion, contests, prizes, and to tie all those in together, we can theme those based on whether or not we have a holiday going on, like 4th of July, Christmas, Halloween. And then you got your advertising, mail, posters, and web pages.
And then we have our marketing coverage, just like different examples of people that we would potentially like to partner with or do partner with currently. Educational events, neighborhoods, co-ops, civic partners. Go into a little more specific. We have like the Jasper County Public Schools, the YMCA's, local businesses, fire and police, public works, Tormenta, 4-H clubs, the Citizen Advisory Committee, all these places that could potentially have a place in our rec center. Like all the different sports that are around here. Sometimes like on days like today when it's 110 degrees, maybe they want to practice inside. Or just like different like local 4-H clubs, maybe they need places to meet or places to do like all their like crafts or just different lessons they do. Local businesses, maybe they can maybe we can co-op and they help us, we do advertising for them and vice versa. Just different opportunities that we are actually looking into right now. That is something we've started in the past week or so, so we'll have a little bit more details on that a little bit later in the game.
Now we're into our market segmentation, where we have instructional programming, things for kids, adults, teens, really anybody, where we can instruct them. We got drop-in recreation activities, families, school-age youth, teens, adults, seniors, fitness and wellness, sports leagues, and arts. A lot of these are, where am I at? Sports leagues, there's a lot of sports that can happen here, especially with the new rec center coming in. We got potential indoor sports leagues that can pop up now. not just outside. Drop-in activities or can really be anything.
All right, and then we did a SWOT analysis, so our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats within the recreation center. Some of the strengths are just the amenities that we are going to have, such as like our fitness center, the walking track, the NCAA regulation basketball court, the racquetball courts, fitness center, the classrooms, just the open space that can all be utilized that we don't currently have in this area. It's the only recreation center within Jasper County. And then weaknesses, we did say, we're only gonna be able to hire one full-time staff at the moment, besides having Jen and Brittany kind of fill in on those roles. And then we don't have like direct ball field access at the center. I mean, we have a great facility at the Richard Gray facility. It's just not directly at the building. So, if somebody wants to go in and work out and then come play soccer, they have to go from one place to another. Some of the opportunities we do have, though, like I kind of mentioned before, are the partnerships that we can have, YMCA's, schools, different clubs, activities. And it'll also give us more space to have programs because we'll have the classrooms and the event space within it. And like Thomas kind of said earlier, we'll be able to have more sports, more tournaments inside. Some of our threats, although, do include the other centers that are kind of close to us, even though this is the only one in Jasper County. We've got Planet Fitness pretty much everywhere, Hilton Head Recreation Center, YMCA's, Buckwalter, Bluffton. And then, of course, schools always rent out their gyms for use on all the sports as well. And then this is what we came up with for our flyer and rack card. They're pretty simple. It just lists, we actually have an address now, which is super exciting that we got to add to it. And then it just lists like all the different things we'll have, the walking track, the basketball courts, the space. We do have the hours on there right now, but those aren't set in stone by any means. We're still working on those. And it also doesn't have prices right now because we are still working on those. That can be added in later as well. But it does have, where we're at, what we're doing, and when you can come. That's it.
Any questions for them or comments or?
I have a couple. This is Kathy. First of all, Jennifer, I want to make sure that we can get a copy of that because I couldn't hear half of what was going on. And it's not anybody's fault except for the fact that we're on the phone and it's harder to hear. So I'd like to read through it because what I was able to hear, I heard a lot of social media, but I didn't hear a lot of how are we going to get people involved in the social media? How are we going to entice them to actually get online? Where are we going to put information about us to encourage people to get to know us? I live in a community that has 300 brand new houses in the last year, and I don't think 10% of those people know that Park and Rec exists. How do we get the word out? Except for me going around and meeting people at the pool or at the restaurant or at an activity and telling them.
Right. I do know that we are still working as best we can. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to remember the two ladies that I just emailed. Calling a blank. Trying to get into the HOAs. As you know, a lot of those places, they won't allow our stuff in. So I don't know how we're going to break through with that, other than just trying to, again, it's kind of word of mouth or somehow or another breaking through that whole image and piece to be able to get information out to the residents. Or I guess if the residents get to the point where they demand it. The other thing too, again, is making sure that we put stuff out through the paper. And then we've also talked about doing mailers, which will directly go straight to your residents, irregardless of whether you HOA or anything you have to deal with. It goes straight to the post office.
And sometimes I think that's the way to start because you have to hit the individuals. But anyhow, my big question was, are we going to get copies of the marketing plan that they've developed, the interns have developed, which sounded good from what I could hear it, but it didn't sound complete, so I'd like to be able to see it and look at it.
Yes, I will be happy to send that over to you guys.
Thank you.
Do you have any more questions?
No.
Okay. All right, Vicki, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna ask you, you were talking about getting to HOAs, and I didn't know whether you had sorry, Kelly Peebles, is pretty much the person who sends out everything as far as Hilton Head Lake goes.
I don't know, I'd have to look and see. I mean, we send stuff out.
I can just send it to you again.
Yeah,
It's
just
all right.
send it to me. I mean, we've sent stuff out, just the other day, we sent stuff out for Fill the Bus. We also sent that out to Latitude Lakes and to Margaritaville. And we haven't gotten any response back yet. So, you know, it's not for lack of trying. We are certainly trying to get it through.
Actually, just quickly, we are meeting, Hilton Head Lake Social Committee's meeting Friday to come up with a date. We're gonna actually do that collection.
Oh, okay, great.
So as soon as I get that straightened out, I'll contact you, or Pauline will contact you to figure out how to pick all the stuff up.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns or comments or?
Jim, they're not, the homeowner associations are not allowing posters or stuff like that in them?
No, I don't think they ever have. I mean, gated communities have very strict rules and regulations about what they can get out to their people. We're fortunate, we've got people that are represented in Latitude Lakes, Margaritaville, Hilton Head Lakes, as well as Sun City. So we have folks that are in there, but it's not always, like Kathy was saying, it's not their responsibility to go out door to door to door, you know, because you never know in this time and age. But we have to find better ways of communicating and getting the information out that bypasses. I mean, we're still gonna continue to try. We send stuff out all the time. But sometimes it's just a personal preference and they don't, they have to follow what their ordinances are and what their policies and procedures are, and each one of them are completely different, so.
Margaritaville is good though about, they like to market or, you know, use everything around them as a selling tool. So once we're up and running, I think we'll be included as their, you know, part of their selling tools. I don't know, I can't.
Absolutely no way that they will publicize anything that they are not promoting. So it has to be one of their programs for them to actually put it on a calendar or in a newsletter or anything like that.
I don't know about that, but I know when people come to buy, they like to have local stuff. I mean, they talk about the hospitals and the beaches and things that are, so I think we'll be mentioned in that respect. I can't speak about the residents' day-to-day stuff, but I think we'll be part of their package selling promotion eventually.
Another thing too that we've talked about, we're just not big enough yet. Once we have the rec center coming on board and we have more programming that we can do, doing a brochure, not just a little brochure you can have, but an actual pamphlet that we can do more than, you can do them either quarterly, once a month. It's probably best for us to do them quarterly. But it will go over all of the stuff that you have for the whole year. I mean, all of your events and all that stuff. And then that's also a tool that we can also utilize as well. And that's another thing. That's, like I said, that's one way to do it through, I mean, it's gonna cost a little bit more money to be able to do it through the post office, but it's up to the consumer once they get it out of their mailbox to actually open it and see it. So we can get that out, but yeah, we'll continue to do it. We've also worked with Mayor Williams to, help us break through some of those barriers and those areas as well. So it's not for lack of trying. We definitely are trying to figure out. And I think too, just in the last couple of years, we've seen a little bit of an uptick in some of the events and stuff as, and it's just gonna get bigger. More and more people that are moving to the area.
It's better than it used to be,
Yes.
a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, guys? No?
That's it.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is old business. Do we have any, Jennifer?
No, Madam
Nope.
Chair.
All right, so moving to presentation and approval of minutes. Our last meeting was on June 15th, 2020, and you were sent the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve or disapprove the minutes?
Motion
I move that
approved.
they be approved.
A second? Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, okay. And new business.
Okay, so the new business was the marketing plan, and I will make sure that we get, in addition to this presentation, they also have a written document. And I don't know if y'all remember, it's when I first got here, our original marketing plan that I did. Even that has to change, but they also have it in a document, so we'll get that out to you as well, that it goes with this presentation, and talks very specifically about some of the information. So,
Okay. All right, no other new business, Jim?
no ma'am.
All right, moving down to the director report.
Whew. It's hot outside, y'all. It is hot. I will tell you that even though it's hot, we're still working very hard. I'm very pleased to let you all know that this past Saturday, Brittany and the interns went out to Deer Run, which is right off of Welsh Drive. And I think they had about 8 kids that were out there that participated in the very first pop-up park and play, where we take the park to the community, because not everyone's coming up to the complex to play. So that's kind of exciting. We'll probably post some information on there and maybe some pictures and send that to you all so you can see that. But it's a start. It's another way for us to connect with our community and kind of getting, outside. And again, right now we're just starting with the kids. And just remember, right now there's just 2 of us. We're very lucky that we have the interns here, but it doesn't mean that once COVID or this whole thing that we're under right now starts to go away, that we can't do this for teenagers, young adults, and senior populations. So there's all different kinds of things that we can do where we're actually coming out to neighborhoods to do stuff. That's another way that we're getting our brand out there. So great job for y'all doing that, because I did not participate. And I think Friday wore me out. We had
It was too hot?
yes, it was very hot, and we had a tourism trip, and they wore me out. Just to give you a little bit of update on the facilities, we are almost done with the playground. For those of you that have been driving through, the poured in place is in. It's just curing right now. We are steadily waiting for phase 2 to start, and that's some of the other stuff to include upgrades to the parking lot, some sidewalks, all that stuff. So parents that have their kids playing inside the playground area, they'll have like a little area to walk in there. So that'll be kind of neat. Because as of right now, you're just walking. There's not a sidewalk designated just for you. So, and then there's some other stuff that we'll be adding as well. So if you get a chance when you leave today, go out there and check it out. It's pretty cool. Same thing with the dog park. We're almost done. They just poured the concrete today to put the shade structures in, and they're working on getting the puppy water fountains in. Pup fountains, I think is what we're calling them. And then we've got some benches that we're going to put in, finishing all that, as well as some landscaping. And then, of course, the big one, which is the basketball shelters. They look really, really good. And they're not quite done, obviously. But again, I encourage you to go out there and see it. And we have been posting on social media to keep everyone up to date. But we'll try and figure out how we can do a little video with maybe some of the pictures and stuff. Try something a little bit
I
different.
know you had hoped to be done by the end of June, and obviously that didn't happen, but, which nobody's surprised, but what are you looking at now?
I would like to say by the end of this month, early August is our time frame. As long as we don't have any more rain, we should be wrapping up here very quickly.
No hurricanes.
Like I said, the playground, the dog park, those should be wrapped up really, in all honesty, depending on the landscaper's schedule, within the next couple of weeks. And with that too, we're also looking at doing a grand opening, so to speak. Where we can, cut the ribbon and all that, and we will be inviting the public out. We have very strict guidelines that we have to follow. We can't have any more than 250. That has not changed. The governor was just on, Thursday or Friday, and talked about that as well. So we, following all those guidelines. So really excited about that. Excited for our community to see those things. And then we also have a meeting coming up. I think Wednesday or Thursday, I don't have my schedule in front of me, where we're going to go out to our conservation area, and we're going to meet with the biologist out there. So we're going to start rolling on that project as well. That's a good long project, but got to start somewhere. So we're excited about that. We also have started the soccer signups. We are partnering with Tormenta FC. They are, for the first 100 kids, they're offering soccer, and it's to anybody. It doesn't have to just be Hardeeville. You can live in Ridgeland or unincorporated, it doesn't matter. First 100 kids is $10. So that's a pretty big win for
Sure is, yeah.
for Hardeeville. And they're supplying all kinds of stuff, uniforms and tickets to the games and all that stuff. We just don't have the staff and the manpower that we need to really focus. So it made sense for us to partner with someone that was already doing something. So that's a good
Can you
form of
talk
partnership.
about just the safety aspect of it? Because I noticed when you posted that, I mean, you had several people,
Mhm.
giving
this-
you some grief about it even, but.
Yeah, I believe there was a gentleman that probably doesn't even have kids. But yes, if you click on the link and you read on it, all of the numbers have been reduced. So the sporting events, football, we've had one that's canceled, and I think the Cudas are still, as of right now, are still planning to play. But there are very specific plans that we have in place. They have to have a return to play. They have to follow all the COVID guidelines as well. All of their staff have to have masks, which, when you're outside, kids don't. Kids are not required to, but they do have to do physical distancing as best they can in sports, and they can't be in groups larger than, I think it's 12 as of right now. So, and you'll see, if you go back there right now and Tormenta's there, you'll see them in smaller groups spread out. So kind of takes all that off of us. But again, it's, I don't want to get into a debate about what's right or wrong with it, but it's really a personal choice, and we're just going to leave it up to the parents if they, same thing with school. We get a lot of folks that are asking about the school stuff. Is school starting back? Why are we doing the back to school event? School's not out. School is starting.
Yep.
We've been in contact with the schools. But yeah, I think it's kind of a trigger right now. A lot of people.
Classroom school? Not
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
virtual.
they have two
Classroom
options.
school.
Yes,
So
they're
but
providing.
That's an option then.
They have an option to go back in traditional school, or they also have an option to do just learning from home.
And the private schools are opening
Yeah. So I
as
think
normal.
it's just kind of across the board. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you all know with my son, I'm a little leery about it, but we're gonna work through it. So yeah, there's always gonna be folks that, same thing with our special events that we do. It pains us that we can't have everyone out. We really like to connect with the community. But first and foremost, safety is always important. And I can tell you, Tormenta has done a stand-up job. If anyone needs to see it, or if any of the public asks to see what their practices are, we'll certainly share that with them. So, but it is,
Okay.
yeah, their sizing has been reduced completely, which is actually kind of cool. Gives kids a lot more
A lot more
one-on-one attention.
personalized, that's right.
Yeah, it does. So,
I just wanted you to point that out since.
yeah. You see, very
Yeah.
tactful. I'm not gonna get into any
Yeah.
kind of.
I know, debate.
No,
That's right.
no. Let me see what else. We are also doing the screen on the green, so that's kind of a good thing. We're trying to do it as a drive-in, so that'll be neat. There's a lot of areas around us that have done the same thing. I think our first one is scheduled for August the 15th, and it's Doolittle with Robert Downey Jr., so that'll be fun. But it's really cool. Brittany's working on that. She's working with our IT department right now to get it so it will actually be funneled through to your telephones, so you can stay in your car, don't have to worry about bugs and all that other stuff and sweating like crazy.
Turn the air on.
Right, so we're kind of excited about that. And then I think that's pretty much it, aside from the fact that July is Parks and Recreation Month. And for those of you that follow us on our social media pages, y'all have seen some throwbacks of me when I first started. I think I was 15 in that picture with the crazy hair. I don't know if you've seen it.
I saw it.
But it's a time for us to reflect, and right now the theme really is that we're resilient. We are Parks and Recreation, and that's really a goal that we want to take through moving forward, is to make sure that everything that we do is that we're here to serve, and that we do the best that we can no matter what. Resilience is important for us. We want to be here now, and we want to be here 10, 15, 20 years from now. So everything that we do now has impacts, so we want to make sure we do them right, so. But hopefully you all will support the National Park and Recreation Month, July, and there's all kinds of things you can do online, and Ariel and Thomas and Brittany do a lot of the social media stuff. I'm not as savvy on social media. I let the younger generation take care of that, so, but other than that,
Fill
that's-
the bus? Did you
Oh,
wanna
yeah,
mention
sorry, yeah, Fill the Bus, that is coming up. As of right now, we do have a box placed out, and there is some supplies in there. We have a box that's placed out in front of City Hall. So if anybody is interested in picking up supplies, a drop-off, they can just drop it off here. Literally, they come into the door, and the box is right there. All they do is put it in, no contact, no nothing, don't have to see anybody. And then we will be working with different neighborhoods to do some pickup sites. Sun City, we're doing it a little different this year. We're not doing the big volunteer event that we normally do, just because of COVID and having too many people in at one time. So Parks and Rec with our interns will be sorting all of the supplies that we get. And then Hilton Head Lakes, as Vicki was saying, they're gonna be working on some other stuff. And we're still trying to reach through to Margaritaville and Latitude
They've Lakes.
uh,
got it, it's been put on the Facebook pages.
Oh, you did? Oh, awesome. Okay. So yeah, we're definitely trying to, like I said, reach out for that, but it's a lot of fun. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the 8th or 9th year that they've done it, and I think every year it continues to get bigger. Since I've gotten here, I know that we have tried to put the stuff out all over the place so that everybody has a chance to participate in it, and we get quite a bit of folks throughout Hardeeville and surrounding areas, Ridgeland even, that come and support the event. And it does all of the stuff that we collect. 100% goes directly to the students and the schools. So it's pretty neat to see it. So it'd be run a little bit differently because of COVID this year, but yes, that kicks off today and it runs through August 6th or 7th. It's on a Thursday, I can't remember. And two, I would like to say a big thank you to Mayor Williams and his wife Beth. Beth is behind the scenes, as well as Carolyn Castle, our councilwoman. They work feverishly behind the scenes and letting me know different stuff, and I put everything together for them. So we definitely want to thank them. And I think we also might have a donor that might be doing some uniforms as well. But I don't have all that information just yet. So, but yes, thank you for reminding me. It's not in my list.
It's okay. Got a lot on your plate.
But that's all.
Okay, so moving down to Recreation Commission issues or concerns. Does anybody have anything that they want to bring up to Jennifer and the interns while they're here? No? Anyone on the phone?
Kathy?
Nope? Okay, well then I say we should get a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right,
Okay.
we're done.
Thank you.